please don't make me go. You do it. And then if it was really boring, I got an intern to do it. So if you're really not boring, you get to meet the senator or Congress member. If you're just a little boring, the legislative director or legislative assistant. And if you're terribly boring, you get to meet the intern at best. So be captivating. Be hopeful. Don't just be a scold. Let your member of Congress or your state legislator, you won't really lobby state legislators much unless it's on a non-binding resolution in support of Israel. Let them know that you have a solution to the problem, which frankly could mean their re-election, as Greg said, that you can help them, although you can't much say that in a government office. But you can give them hope that they can make a difference for Israel. And honey helps, not just a stick. Be authentic. That's a matter of your passion. That's easy for all of you. All of you really do believe in the cause for Israel. And be relatable. Relatable means you can ask everybody the question, how would you feel if you have relatives in Israel? And by the way, how many of you, just a show of hands, how many of you have relatives or reasonably close friends living in Israel? Fantastic! Okay, here's what you should do then. Let me tell you how you bring their stories. Because you're not going to fly them to the United States. So here's what I do when I can't bring people with me with stories. You need to tell them to tell their story within 60 seconds. Here's the best practical tip I can give you. And to email it to you to put on your iPad so that when you lobby, you need to show your iPad with the video of your friend and family member in Israel. It should be no more than 60 seconds. And they should be in tears. I want to see emotion from them, not fancy pills, okay? They should not take fancy pills. They should speak scared out of their minds in 60 seconds on what it's like to live under the threat of rocket fire from terrorists. And that's the most practical advice I can give. If you remember one thing from everything I tell you, go tape one friend or relative. They can do it themselves. They can literally look at their iPad, or they can do it through the camera on their computer, give it to you, and take them with you electronically by tape. Got it? Let me tell you. And then you force legislators or their staff to watch it. That is way more powerful than your overflowing people with facts and statistics. I mean, no, a few facts and statistics. I'm not telling you to be morons, okay? No, a few. But you need to show that tape quickly. And when you do, I promise you, you will watch the legislators and staff right in front of you tear up before your eyes. Yes, then you got it. The truth. Now, here's the 4 goals when you meet any legislator staffer. Goal 1, know how the electronics work. Go. Listen, 4 goals. Okay. Obviously, to learn where the legislator stands if you don't know. Let me let you in a little secret. If you're from New Jersey, you're going to know where your legislators stand, okay? We have a very large Jewish population here. Certainly, there's not a single member of the congressional delegation of the 12 House members, Democrat or Republican, who basically isn't pro-Israel to some extent. There are regions of the country where it's difficult. 2, to persuade them your way. So you should know 1 and 2, right? It's 3 and 4 that is so important. You want to gather information when you meet a legislator to get the latest intelligence about where other legislators stand, even in the region and in the country. And then when you get that intelligence, you want to call organizations like AIPAC or the American Jewish Committee and feed that information. You view yourself as ambassadors or information gatherers. And you want to commit supportive legislators and staff to lobby their colleagues. The most important, the most effective form of legislative lobbying is what we call legislator-to-legislator lobbying. And as great as a legislative advocate with great other skills as Greg could be, and as not half bad as I could be, let me tell you, politicians are more likely to tell the truth to other politicians than they are to us. So, one of the biggest mistakes in lobbying is people don't press hard enough on their strongest supporters. They think, oh, once I have somebody who is already a legislative supporter, I can move on. No, when somebody's a supporter, you always want more, you always want more. Your inner Jewish mother must come out. Nothing you legislator ever does is good enough, I want more. I'm saying that tongue-in-cheek because never forget to say thank you. But it is the strongest supporters you always want to lobby other people. Now, there's a basic chart we use in lobbying that's fairly universal that we call a 1 to 5 whip chart. Has anybody heard this? Well, let me tell you a little story. I was preparing this slide in a coffee shop not too far from here, and it said whip chart. And you know what the server said to me? Because I go to this restaurant all the time. She said, I didn't think you were that into that. And I'm thinking, what is she talking about? And then I go, oh my God, whip chart. Okay, I'm about to have off-color humor here at the fabulous Metro West Federation. This is not about S&M. Whipping means whipping, getting votes into line, right? So universally, this is how we measure supporters. And we actually make charts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is a strong supporter, 5 is a strong opponent. You always want your ones to lobby on your behalf and to press them with names they promise you they will lobby. Now, I am rushing because this is about a 28-week course in about 20 minutes. You need to provide expertise. Lobbying, legislative advocacy is not just about asking what a legislator can do for you. It is also about what you can give the legislator. It is a two-way street. Legislative offices are understaffed. This is where you need your facts and statistics, but this is also where you need your stories, your people with victims, because legislators understand this, and they will ask you, do you have any good victims? I apologize for the disempowering term victims, but that's what everybody calls them. We're talking about victims of terrorism in Israel, of course. Now, I am going to rush through this. Here's a bunch of dreck. Okay? I am proud to be the first person at this Metro West distinguished convocation to present a slideshow that euphemistically I will call dreck. Because you should never believe a legislator with these following phrases. This is just not true. You are being worked over if you lobby a legislator and they say, I hear you. This is an important issue. Double. You're a great advocate for the cause. Excuse me, I don't need to hear that. What is that? Okay, you're very persuasive. I mean, really, this is what legislators say. If they tell you this crap, they are not with you, they are not pro-Israel, don't believe them for a second. Okay? Yeah, even so, tell me how I can help is not a yes. Okay, I don't believe anybody until they sponsor my bill. In your case, in our case, if it's foreign aid, a foreign appropriations package for Israel, or if they make a public statement. Okay? Now, I'm racing to the end. Who should you bring with you as you prepare to meet a legislator or a staffer? This is hard. Your victim. Okay? This again would be on your iPad. But by the way, if any of you have a personal story, you should tell it. Constituents from the legislator's district, including clergy. So we all need to bring not just rabbis, but we need to bring priests and ministers dressed up in collars. Got it? And everybody needs to wear their clergy outfit. Sometimes I have clergy come to lobby on causes I want, and they're coming in civilian clothes. It's like, what are you doing? And then we have to go rushing for like clerical outfits, and sometimes we put the wrong outfits on the wrong people. It's a mess. Okay? atypical supporters, which is why the gentleman from Britain who is Islamic was such a great speaker. That's very hard. Others, only if there are powerhouses. Now, we're almost done, everybody. Hillary, thank you so much. Here's your step-by-step guide to a meeting. 1, you are going to schmooze the legislator. Okay, you begin a meeting with some good Jewish schmooze. Listen, you research them on Google, who you're meeting, you compliment them, you figure out what you agreed with them, you engage in small talk. It instantly lightens the room. You have an elevator speech. I'm rushing through this, that's your basic speech, 30 seconds or less, a minute or less. You have to include your ask. Don't be shy, be very Jewish aggressive. Legislators cannot stand when you don't tell them exactly what you want. They actually can't stand coy and shy. They want to hear it directly. They don't want their time wasted. This is what we elect them to do. Include your ask. Got it? Okay. Personal stories throughout the meeting. Again, I want tears from these personal stories. Oprah Winfrey, first thing she told me when I worked for her, I didn't recognize her, right? She hired me. It was very strange. I had no idea who she was. She was a very different person. She said to me, Steven, the purpose of our show is to touch the human heart. Okay. I was like shaking. I was like a producer for her. I was 25 years ago. And she said, we tell stories that make people laugh, scream, cry, yell, or gasp. We touch people's emotions. That is what the terrorists do, by the way. We appeal to people's brains. I'm serious. So, I want emotion. And every time I do a legislative meeting, and I bring victims with me or people with me, they take what I call fancy pills to meet a legislator. They were great before, then all of a sudden they meet the legislator, and they become very fancy. And they talk very slow, and they show no emotion, and they're monotonous, and they drone, and you want to die. Those people should not be at your meeting, okay? Almost done. Okay. The last thing you want to do as you read through this is, in front of the legislator, if the legislator's there, tell the staffer, because the staffer will be there, the legislator will never be alone, say to the staffer, I'm going to follow up with you on the legislator's commitment, okay? And then really follow up. But make sure you have a solid promise. And is there a last slide? Oh, send thank you notes. So here's my promise to you, everybody. Any of you, I will help any of you for free. I'll speak anywhere. Any of you get any meetings with any legislator, you can give me a call. It's Steven Goldstein. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, and I'm on cell phone, 917-449. I'm serious. I'll do this for free. I'll cover money. I care about Israel more than any other issue. And
what's the last 4 digits?
It's a fact and a statistic, so it bores me. 917-449-8918. Steven Goldstein. I teach this stuff at Rutgers now. I'm close by. I work on the newer campus. I will be there to help any of you. Thank you all so much.
So what we take from this is we're all going to go out and vote on Tuesday and bring someone.